said last week that God has a design for relationship between husband and wife in the family. They're all equal in status and in dignity and worth. They are co-heirs of God's promises. And they have different roles to play. He wants the husband to lead with love and the wife to support that leadership. The leadership of a husband voluntarily, joyfully, intelligently, and wisely. In the same way, God also has a design for relationship in the church. He's created the church and He designed the church to have leaders. And God wants those leaders to be men. Now obviously not all men in the church are leaders, and those men who are not leaders, they too must submit to the leaders of their church. We see this in passages like this in 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man, Paul said. Now the question of course is why? Why can't women be leaders and teachers in the church? Now, it's important to note it's not because women are less educated. It's not because women are not as good at leading or preaching. It's none of those reasons. It's simply because that's how God has designed relationship in the church. In fact, it has to do with how God designed creation. Now there are heaps of things to be said about this particular topic, but let me just say a couple of things. One, we need to keep remembering we're not like the world. We don't have the same definition of leadership and submission as the world. For us, leadership and submission is not a power struggle. Leadership is not tyranny, and submission is not weakness. Now, I explained all this last week, so I won't repeat it here. But I think it's important to say again that we need to trust God. Trust the God who made the world. He made the church, He made the family, and He has designed all this in a way that is good, and it's good for us too. Here's my second point. There are heaps of women who have excellent leadership and teaching skills. And there are also heaps of ways women can use their gifts in the church for God's glory and the good of His people. That doesn't include being elders or ministers. There are so many more things to be done. And these roles are not leftover roles. They are dignified, important, critical things to be done at the church. And I believe we can do the most good for God's glory and God's people when we use our gifts the way God wants us to. So again, we need to trust Him by trusting His word. Well, thanks everybody for your questions. I've enjoyed thinking through and reflecting on them. I hope it's been helpful to you. Please keep asking more questions. I plan to do more of this. You can message me privately, of course, or you can also go to our website and fill out the form there at q.kwy.ch.